Here are the benefits of keeping a journal. Hi there, everyone. I'm Jeff, and this is Plain English lesson number 481. Plain English is where JR and I help you upgrade your English with current events and trending topics. JR is the producer, and he works behind the scenes to bring you these full lesson sets every week. And if you haven't yet experienced the full lessons, you can see today's full lesson at plainenglish.com/481. Coming up today, back in lesson 431, we talked about mental health apps. And as I was researching that lesson, I stumbled upon an app called Journal, which helps users keep a short written journal every day. I had read about the benefits of journaling before and was looking for a way to get started. On today's lesson, I'll start by sharing what journaling is. I'll then talk about the benefits of journaling, and I'll close with my experience over the last month or so. In the second half of the lesson, I'll share the English expression, get off on the right foot, and JR has a song of the week. Charles Darwin did it. So did the artist Frida Kahlo. Marie Curie, one of the most famous female scientists in world history, she was a fan too. I'm talking about keeping a journal, or the practice of journaling. This is simply the practice of writing your thoughts and feelings to understand them more clearly. In the age before modern technology, many famous diaries were focused on professional as well as personal thoughts. Today, journaling is most associated with relieving stress, anxiety, and depression. If you think journaling involves writing long entries late into the night, well, you can do it that way, but that's not how most people do it. You don't need to devote too much time to experience the benefits. Here's what experts say you should do. First, do something every day. You don't have to spend too much time, but doing something every day helps. Second, make it easy. Smartphone apps help with this by sending reminders and giving you prompts to help you along. But if you prefer pen and paper, keep your journal somewhere easy to access. What should you write, though? Well, this can be anything, obviously, but whatever you write should align with your life objectives. For example, if you are feeling lost and aren't making progress in life or in your career, you can pledge to write 3 goals every morning. If you're dealing with stress or depression, gratitude journaling can help. Just write 3 small things you're grateful for. It's hard to be angry and grateful at the same time, so starting your day with gratitude can help get the day off on the right foot. You can record your mood and your emotions. It's easy to be overcome with emotions without recognizing what they really are. If you set aside just a few minutes to identify the emotions you're feeling, you might find it easier to cope with them. And finally, if you journal at night, you can also write the best thing that happened to you that day. That can help you stay focused on the positive things in life. Why should you do this? Writing down your thoughts, experiences, and hopes can help in a number of ways. It can help you keep perspective and prioritize your problems. It's very common to make a big deal about small things. By writing down the emotions you're having, you can see what's bringing you down and determine whether it's worth it. Journaling can also help you find ideas. You see, writing down your thoughts is not just a way of recording the thoughts you've already had, it's also a way of generating ideas and inspiration for the future. If you're experiencing negative emotions, journaling can help you put a stop to an endless negative loop in your head. Often, an unexpressed emotion can just replay over and over in your head. But if you end the day recording the emotion, you can let it sit in the journal instead of in your head. You can use a blank page to record this or a blank document on your phone or computer. But I like the app called Journal because it makes the process even easier. Here's how I use it. First, I get a reminder in the morning to start the day's journal. At that point, I record how I'm feeling in the morning. It's just a simple choice of 5 options. Then, it prompts me to enter 3 things I'm grateful for. And then, it asks what I'm going to do to make the upcoming day great. There's also a section called Affirmations. This is where I choose one pre-written statement that I want to keep in mind that day. I wrote these myself, and one of my affirmations, for example, is do less, but do it better. You can write your own. Just pick a few statements that are important to you and repeat them in the journal. At night, I also use the journal app to record the best things that happened during the day. This is a nice way to close out the day on a positive note. You can also program special questions that you want to answer about yourself. Now, this won't be for everyone. However, if you're on the fence about it, I would encourage you to give it a try. I was skeptical at first, but I've found it to be very helpful. The one thing I like about using an app is that the prompts are right there. I don't have to think about what to do. It just puts it right in front of me. So I like the structure of having an app. And Journal lets you turn features on and off or change them based on your preferences and goals. And by the way, I don't write a lot of words. It's just a handful of words, a handful of choices in the app, and it takes maybe 2 minutes in the morning and the evening. So check it out. Journal is the name of the app I use, and it has a yellow logo. You can even do a journal in English and get some writing practice. How about that? Today's expression is to get off on the right foot. The opposite is to get off on the wrong foot. We use these twin idioms, get off on the right foot and get off on the wrong foot, when we're talking about how something begins. Does it begin well or does it begin badly? It's very common to use this when talking about a relationship. It could be a friendship, a romantic relationship, or something more professional. Have you seen the show Emily in Paris? I have seen both seasons. It's about a young American who is sent to work in an office in France. She only speaks English. The people in the French office don't want her there, and she quickly tries to change the way the people in France run their business. You can imagine how that went over. Not well. She gets off on the wrong foot with her colleagues in France. Their professional relationship starts badly. You can also get off on the wrong foot with people outside the workplace. This is funny. When I moved into my current apartment, I decided to refinish the hardwood floors. This was 6 years ago. The floors were old and scuffed up when I bought the apartment, and I knew the only time I could ever refinish all the floors was before I moved in, before I had any furniture on the floors. The problem is, refinishing hardwood floors, A, makes a lot of noise, and B, smells really, really bad. And the smell was not contained to just my unit. Now, I did give everyone in the building some fair warning. I did say this would happen just once. I did apologize in advance to my neighbors. We all have back doors open to the outside, which we can use if the smell in the lobby and the stairway is too bad. And yet, there was a neighbor who made no shortage of comments about how disruptive the smell was and how much he thought nobody should refinish their floors because of the smell. Well, that neighbor and I got off on the wrong foot. The first impression this neighbor had of me was someone who, before even showing up in person, caused a lot of disruption in the building. The first impression I had of this neighbor was someone who complained a lot about a minor disruption that would go away within 24 hours. Suffice to say, we got off on the wrong foot. When you're talking about a relationship between two people, it's much more common to use get off on the wrong foot. That's a polite way of saying that an interpersonal relationship started badly. I say polite because it's a way of saying a relationship started badly without casting blame. So that's relationships. The other way to use it is with processes or time periods. And this is how I used it today. I said I like to open my journaling app in the morning to get the day off on the right foot. That means I like to use the app to start the day well. When we say get off on the right foot, we're often using this with an aspiration, what we hope will happen. We're often saying that we want to start something well. I like to get my day off on the right foot by using a journaling app. You might like to get your day off on the right foot by doing a little yoga or meditation or exercise in the morning. Some people like to get the year off on the right foot by setting New Year's resolutions or setting achievable goals. I just got called for jury duty. In fact, when this lesson comes out, I might be serving on a jury. I've been on a jury once before. It was years ago in New York. After the trial ended, we jurors sat in a private room for our deliberations to determine if the defendant was guilty under the law. We wanted to get our discussions off on the right foot by sharing our perspectives, but not arguing with each other. We knew we had a job to do, so we wanted to get off on the right foot, and we wanted to start the process on a positive note. So we started the discussions by sharing the strongest part of each side of the case. So each one of us said, what was the strongest part of the prosecutor's case and what was the strongest part of the defense's case. That let us share perspectives without anyone feeling defensive and without people dividing into sides. We got those discussions off on the right foot. We started our discussions well, and we eventually all agreed on a verdict. It's already summer. Tomorrow is July 1st, and at least where we live, it's getting nice and warm. So JR has chosen a summer song. It's called California Dreamin' by the Beach Boys. And the song is really about being away from California in the fall or winter and dreaming about how it's always warm and sunny in Southern California. Well, for a few months, we get to experience warm weather all the time here. So thanks, JR, for that song of the week. Well, that's all for today's lesson number 481 for June 30th, 2022. Just a heads up, I want you to check your podcast feed tomorrow, Friday, for a special audio message from me. And this is just an extra bonus audio with some exciting news. I didn't want to take away from the lesson content, but I do have an important message for you. So check your podcast feed tomorrow, July 1st, 2022, for that message. We'll be back here on Monday, like always, with a new lesson. I still owe you the topic about golf, so maybe that will be Monday's lesson. Let's see. See you then.